Hey guys, it's Henry from Mowers and Blowers. This is the Craftsman Gt6000 garden tractor I got for free in Bohemia. As you know, the steering sector is supposed to be stripped, which is why I gave it away. Also, there's no engine. So I decided I'm going to drain the gas. It had a full tank of gas, by the way. Drain the gas and flip it on its side. It really wasn't all that hard to flip it on its side, but I put a plastic bag over the thing just for excess fuel not to drip out and make a mess. There be the tractor, and I'm going to check out the underbelly of the tractor for me to understand more about the horizontal pulleys and the horizontal engine, and figure out how the mechanics work, since I've never worked on a horizontal shaft before. Not to mention, this garden tractor is pretty badass because from what I understand, the transmission's very good. And look at these monster wheels, man. I would love to just simply take off these monster wheels and put them on my my beauty, my Murray with the white walls. However, the hub assemblies won't work. I suppose I can get an adapter for that stuff, but I don't even know if a big wheel like this would fit underneath the fender wells and stuff. This is the transmission I'm talking about. My friend Pete Lombardi told me it's made by Roper, and it's a 633A manual. Pretty cool. So everything is horizontal, you know, the transmission pulley is actually vertical, right? The pulleys are all vertical, idlers. And I don't know, so this I think is for the drive, right? And the pulleys in the front are for the electric PTO. I was unaware that the horizontal engines, you use both sides of the crankshaft. But now I know. I was always wondering why I see horizontal shaft pulleys on the top of the spinning flywheel where the grass mesh grill is. I always wondered if that was just a, you know, for you to rope pull start it or something. But now I know there's a pulley there to run the PTOs. It's pretty ingenious. Is this supposed to be curved like this? You know, diagonal? At an angle, or is it just bent? Is this supposed to be perfectly vertical, or is it supposed to be bent like that to help the twist of the belt? I'm thinking that's what it is. I've seen other videos of guys that have the same tractor and theirs is also bent like that. I don't know, tell me in the comments, is that supposed to be bent? You know what I mean by bent, right? Instead of it level like that, it's kind of at an angle, maybe 35-degree angle going down like that. Tells you exactly how to put the belt on. Like I said, I don't know what I'm going to do with this thing because the wheels won't fit on any of my tractors. It'd be a shame for me to just take the wheels and give up the transmission. I know somebody would want that transmission. The tractor's actually pretty nice, you know. If you could see from the underbelly, there's not any rust, much rust at all, you know, just surface rust. And all this thing really needs is an ignition switch and an engine and some belts. You know, that's all it really needs. Oh, I got to figure out this steering here. Oh, as you can see right there, teeth are busted. So I need one of these things. Aside from 1, 2, 3 teeth that are gone, I noticed that this bracket over here is bent. See that? This is straight, and this is bent. So he must have hit a tree or something. So it's bent pretty well. Unless it's supposed to be like that. Is that supposed to be like that? It looks like it's supposed to be like that. Anyway, I'm going to try to loosen this up because right now you can't turn anything because it's just like stuck in that area. So I'm going to take that bolt off and loosen this all up. Then do some oiling and greasing and see if I can move this without it connected to that. I've got these huge wrenches. You can see it's a 3/4, but it won't budge. See if I can find a 3/4 socket and try to impact that off, you know. It might be easier. But this PB Blaster has always treated me really well, and I know it's treated you guys well too. That's probably why it's one of the best-selling penetrating oils. Found my good old impact with a 3/4 socket, just like NASCAR. Comes right off. Better take a picture of this thing to make sure I know exactly where all this stuff goes, you know. Well, those washers just popped out somewhere. I don't know where they went. I don't know where they came from, whether it was here, there, I don't know. I don't know where they come from. Guess I'll have to go look over a chart. Anyway, so the wheels still don't pivot. They don't turn, you know. I think it's been like this for a while, so I'm going to oil up this area here. This is the turning point for this. Do the joints. That could be seized too. Won't turn. Oil that up a little bit. If I just bang on it, it moves a little. Move it back up, back and forth, until I loosen it up. It's apparent that this is frozen up, obviously. I'm banging it so much and it's barely moving, so this thing is definitely not going to turn, you know. Which is probably why that thing broke, you know. I wonder how much this thing is. It looks expensive. I'm going to blow some more PB Blaster in that area there, let it soak for a bit. That thing is just not budging. Hardly. Millimeter at a time. So I'm thinking I'm going to remove that and bang that out, clean out the shaft from the rust and the seizing. So if I take that out and clean it up. It was really rusted on there. E-clip and the washer. There it is right there. I'm not going to just bang that, because if I bang that I might damage it and ruin and mushroom it, so it won't be able to go back on again. So I'm going to take a bolt, put it in the middle, and use a hammer and try to bang it out. So I had to flip it back on its side again, back upright again, because it just wasn't budging at all. So what I need to do is have gravity take care of the soaking and lubrication of that shaft. It's got to soak. I mean, no matter how much I pounded this thing, it wouldn't come out. I mean, it moved just a little bit, tiny bit, when I used a crowbar and got in between the wheels and stuff, you know, that area there, just kind of pivoting it back and forth. It moved a little, but I don't think this is really budging at all. It's really in there. Well, I'll let it soak for a bit. For a few hours, maybe overnight, you know. I don't really have any immediate plans for this thing since I don't have a horizontal shaft engine. So I finally removed the steering section right here. This part here is still, it won't move, it won't budge. So I had to remove these two bolts and the thing will drop down. What I did find out is once I did that, it does turn, see? So these shafts are not seized. It rolls well. So the only thing that was preventing it from turning was the busted gear there on that sector. And this thing is, that thing right there is the pivot is rusted. And it won't move, won't budge, won't rotate. So I'm going to have to just soak it with PB Blaster penetrating oil and just work it back and forth until it loosens up. Then I can reinstall it. I'm going to check and see how much that part is. And then this baby will at least steer so I can get it to the backyard and park it and figure out what I'm going to do with it, to be honest with you. So it's a new day. Got this baby back out again, put it on its side. And just trying to fix the steering. As you saw before, I took off the bottom gear assembly over here, right? As you can see, teeth are gone there. This piece is connected to this piece. I mean, it looks like I could take these off, right? But look at this, you know, piece. It's such a big, heavy duty piece of cast iron, I guess. So I looked on eBay, and there's only one guy selling this exact piece. Take a look at how much he wants for that. So yeah, I'm not gonna pay $100 for it. Out of your brain? No way. So I was thinking, what if how do I fix this, right? What if I used I cut this part here and cut that part here, right? Then I take like a old crankshaft, right? Cut a piece just like that, put it in place of this to fill in 3 teeth, right? And then weld it. All it needs to do is just go smooth like that for it to be able to turn, right? I mean, that's an option I could try. The other thing here is this piece here. This is like an adapter to a lawnmower with the blades, the blade adapter onto the crankshaft. Anyway, I've been trying to get this damn thing, this part off for a while now, and I couldn't get it off. I PB blastered it overnight and stuff, and it just wouldn't budge and move, you know. This part is connected to the 2 rods here that turn the wheel. See what I'm saying? And it was stuck. It wouldn't pivot, you know. It wouldn't turn. So these things were locked in place. It was seized. So now I'm just trying to remove this from that shaft there. This thing turns like that, but it doesn't turn, you know. So I've got my puller on here, and it keeps stripping the bolts over here because it's just using too much you know, force. You know, these things are cheap, you know. So it's stripping the bolts, stripping the threads as I'm putting pressure on it. So I'm shooting PB blaster in between here. I've managed to move it like a millimeter. What I'm doing is I'm banging here and I'm banging here just so it goes like this, like that, like this, and like that, and at the same time turning this to pull it a little bit more. I think I'm gonna get this off. I'm getting closer. Another millimeter's off. It's almost down. I stripped the bolt again, see? This nut just came pop right off. Can't put too much pressure on it, just slightly, you know? Success. Success. I tell you, success. Crazy, right? So now I'm gonna clean out the inner part of that, grind this down with a wheel, and lubricate it so that it turns easily. I'm gonna figure out what the hell I'm gonna do with that, you know. A cheap puller, threads, it's just trashed. But got it off. Got the old grinder out, the bristle brush. Ground that down. Clean the inside of there. Check it out. Oh, look at that. Spray some white lithium grease on it. Look at that. So I reassembled everything. I think I did it right. Greased the joints. And I actually put this thing back on because I'm thinking to myself, if I did use a crankshaft gear to try to fill that in, it's not going to work because this is cast iron and most camshafts are aluminum. Aluminum's not going to be able to weld onto that, so I just figure maybe it'll, work. I mean, where it's busted right there is in the middle, you know what I mean? So it's going to go straight. If the wheel starts turning left or right, it'll grip onto the gears and I'll be able to turn. So I'll just see how it works, and then I'll try to figure out another solution. I'm going to flip back on its normal again and see what happens. Let's check this out. Steers good until you get to the middle. See? But I'm thinking you're driving. Yeah, that's no good because you're going to keep on going straight unless it has an inclination to go to the left. It might turn itself. And then once you get to a little bit there, it'll grip onto the gears and it'll turn. But while going straight, that's it, So it's just that middle part. Nice and smooth now. At least I have a little bit of control. I'm going to try to fit that hood back on. It didn't fit well before, but I'm going to try to do it now. So I managed to, it freewheels very well, so there's nothing holding onto it. There's no engine, right? So I managed to push it over here to the corner. So maybe sometime this spring, or when I don't have anything left to do, I'm going to try to put a snowblower engine in here. It like a 5 horsepower Tecumseh horizontal shaft snowblower engine. I have one extra that I had from my friend Jason. So I'm going to figure out how to put some brackets in there and mount it on there and run a big pulley and have a drive belt that leads right to the transmission. And we'll see if we can get that project going, because this tractor is just too nice for me to throw away or part out. I want to try to save it somehow and get it running. It's a nice tractor, man. It's my first real garden tractor. Anyway, so we took a little piece of a chunk out of this problem, which is the steering. And so I got it to steer left and right, but straight, that's another story. But see you guys next time on Mowers and Blowers. If your company needs swag, check out Lanny at prologowear.com. Also, help me support the channel. Buy a sticker. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. See you guys next time on Mowers and Blowers. Follow my Instagram at Mowers Blowers. Check out my website, mowersblowers.com.